Hello and welcome to the next episode of this series, which is all about this leg room and of course my life. Now today we've got lots to do, which is never a good thing because something is always going to go wrong, and it's following on from the last upload where we put all of the huge things like this 8080 up on the shelf just to figure out what is the best use of space, and then of course what would make the better display. So we had the Disney castle up there, the 8080 went up there, obviously it's still there because that was the winner, and then we have got the sail barge underneath just for safety because I obviously don't want to be breaking that. Now you can tell on the camera where there's dark patches and there's dirty patches and whatever else. This wall needs a good bit of TLC, which means it's going to need a new lick of paint. Now I could just repaint it blue and we could have just kept the same display, but it's all going to have to come off. I wasn't going to do it this early on in the year, but it is what it is. It's just one of those things. So we are now going to crack on and get this done, which means I have to prep all of the space. And I don't mean mask all the bits and pieces because that would just be boring. I've got quite a bit to move. Now I've got to clear this shelf off at the top, which is easier said than done because I need some space to put it. All of these little bits and pieces underneath, this will all have to be rehomed in this upload so we can actually put it somewhere. That thing I'm hoping can just stay there and it will be absolutely fine. I think the first run of base plates of this will have to move, but if I have to move that, I actually have to then relocate the rest of the Tatooine stuff, which will have to go underneath this table. And I told you there's a lot of bits and pieces to move. Now the reason why the front row of this has to move is because I can't reach the wall. So of course the Winter Village station will have to come up, the track will have to come back up. There's just some little bits and pieces. I think everything else I can reach that's orange, I'll have to move Gringotts Bank and then just pull that away, but that'll happen when it obviously gets painted. But if I can just prep the sets ready for a fresh lick of paint, because to get this actually painted, especially that back wall, that's going to take ages to dry. This side wall won't be too bad, and then I'm thinking from now to when it's finished it's going to be the 3 or 4 separate uploads just with how long, excuse me, that is actually going to take to dry. Now normally I would show you all the other little bits and pieces that we've done over the year, but I'm about to rip it all out to paint, so there's absolutely no point. But for certain bits and pieces it'll go for a time lapse, and other little bits and pieces like for example trying to make a makeshift display for the Tatooine, we'll do that in real time because I've got to figure out where that's going to go and just not get it damaged. It would just be literally thrown onto another table for now. So with that being said, let's get to it. So there is going to be no easy way to do this just because I've got to crawl underneath this table every single time. So I'm going to end up headbutting that table a fair few times, and more than likely it's going to be highly entertaining for you. Now if I spin these lights around, very professional, there we go, we can put some light this way so you can kind of see what is going on. Now the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to get this box, this huge box just here. This can now just be pushed back into the corner. For now this is the big 8080, and I just hope I don't crush anything else. Now if you've been following different bits and pieces, you know what was going to go underneath here. So there's actually all the bits and pieces underneath here already, and we were going to be making a huge display underneath. That has now changed, and I think it's probably changed slightly for the better. Now that's handy because that's some masking tape, so I'm going to need that as well, so that can stay up here. Now the sail barge is going to stay where it is, but the problem is all the stuff that's on the floor down here, as you can see, is the stuff that was where the sail barge was. So I think I just need to basically just be ruthless. Which I say ruthless, I've got to be careful because I don't want to smash all the bits and pieces obviously, but we will just have, he says, as well you can see just the state of some of these because they have been badly broken and damaged. Now the Ghost built, good looking thing, finally that can now be displayed properly, which will be great. Some of these sets were in boxes, some of these sets, it's just because I do this all the time and it just moves and moves and moves, well, it's just going to get broken, isn't it? So that is the problem of moving everything all of the time. But it is all starting to come into its final location, which is nice and exciting. Now, I hope I'm going to keep the ghost where it is. In case you were questioning, I told you the purple lightsaber would be on the carpet and it didn't go far. So in the last upload, I said I had Mr. Samuel. His purple lightsaber was just there, and we have got the clone on the other side. So that is now all back together. So we've got the option of putting that on the stand later on in this upload as well. Now there's Chewie. I have got so many Chris Pratt minifigures, it is not funny whatsoever. He is in far too many franchises that I like. Not good at all. Right, I'm just going to stick these minifigures on the ghost, he says, and then we'll figure out where this ghost is actually going to end up and what display it's going to go in as well. I don't think do they use the ghost in the Clone Wars? Help. That is something I need to do a bit of research on, but if they do, will be good. Right, I have got, this is where I've got to now start crawling from one bit to another. A tabletop, actually I don't. The tabletop by Fluke is here. It's only a 55 by 55. I think that's the size, don't quote me on that. Oh, that's the instruction manuals. So I moved all of them in the last upload. I just haven't had time to put them back in the tubs because all the tubs need to move. It's just relentless, and you're really, really close. So you can go, you can go down here. Is that going to go? I've just crushed, literally just crushed everything. So that's the train. That's exciting. The ghost. What else have I just crushed? Stuff. So you could probably see now why things are broken. I ended up spending so much time repairing everything because all of a sudden I'm like, oh, actually I need that for a display. Right. It has to stay down here. It can't come up onto the tables until we're good to go. Now, can I get this stuff, I should be able to, on there as well? Can I just put you there? It's really dark underneath that table until we get new lighting and all of that kind of thing. The cantina will go right beside the ghost, then we'll be alright. If it doesn't, then we're in trouble. This, by the way, if you picked this up before it retired, what a set this is with the minifigures. It is outstanding with regards to the minifigures that are included. So if you got that to build in 2025, or if it's in your shame pile for a later date, well, you've definitely got something to look forward to. Now, I have got another one of these tabletops if required, but to get to it, it's a little bit of a nightmare. So I will put you into a time lapse eventually because you can see how long this is going to take. Right, all of that's on there. When I say make a display, clearly I lied. That was completely live to everybody. I'm definitely not going to be making a display on a table that small. Clearly not. Hand can go up on there. They can all go there. I think that's all of those. Get 3 more bits to come down. 1, 2. That was a minifigures, nothing broke. 3. So that's not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. Right, let me run you through the next bits and pieces that need to be moved, and I'll put you to time lapse because it's just this is going to take a while. This upload's not going to be very long because it is literally me just doing stuff like, well, what I've just done to get things ready. I don't think I'm going to move the Winter Village stuff onto this table just yet until I know I can't reach. I can't, I know I can't, but I think it's just going to be that first base plate. But again, I just want to move as little as possible. I should be able to get down that side to do that. Obviously, it's got to be the stain cover first. So ideally, everything that's orange, blue, yellow, I want to paint in one hit. And it's all done and it can all dry. And then I have the blue ready to go. So it's actually this blue is going to go where it's orange, because the orange is actually going to go where it's blue, and then I'm going to get a much nicer yellow to go underneath, because it would just look nice as a backdrop and it just stands out for the minifigures. I could have gone white for the backdrop of Hoth, but you wouldn't have seen anything. Like we put some minifigure, you put a minifigure up against that, and then you have the whole wall like it. It's not going to show up on camera, so I just want really nice, vibrant bits. So if it rotates around again, it doesn't really matter. But there is a purpose behind that, because the orange is because of the Rebel Troopers in their orange outfit, and the yellow underneath we have got because of, well, that basically. We had a choice of the blue or the yellow, because obviously Rex is blue, I do believe, with the Ventnor. But we're going to go for yellow and then go blue on the other side. And then I think everything that's yellow will go white on the top part of the H. Still undecided about these bricks on the inside. I might just wrap it around and have it orange into orange, and it's just white here. I think that's probably best. It'll probably show on camera a little bit better, but you can see what I mean about just with how cold it is in here. You've got darker, damp bricks there. Those things I can't paint, so I've got to figure out what I've got to do with those. And then that is all changed colour and gone horrible. It did get painted a while ago. This is the only wall for some reason that gets absolutely destroyed, whereas that, well, it took like an absolute dream. So I'm not 100% sure why. And everything else is fine. Either side's fine, the orange and green. It's got a little bit weird and wonderful on that side, but to be honest, the amount of work it would be just for me to paint that corner in lime, it amoves you, but for me to move the Loop Coaster and Apocalypseburg and all that kind of thing, I don't think it's going to be worth it. But I might make that decision later on within the next few weeks as this process happens. Right, so you're going to go to a time you're going to go to a time lapse. I'm sorry, this has still been going on for a long period of time. They will figure out eventually exactly what venom and plague I do have, but until that happens, you're just going to have to put up with it. So my plan is I need to move, I was about to say Lord of the Rings. That isn't Lord of the Rings, that is D&D. So you've got the D&D castle and the treehouse. Both of those need to move, and then I'll go through some of the Star Wars bits and pieces, obviously put them underneath. I can't be lazy and have anything on here, so the AT-AT is going to have to go onto this table as well. It's going to get tight very quickly. So enough of me waffling. I will set you up on the shelf. You're just going to see me basically crawl underneath this table now 1 2 3 4 5 6 times, maybe minimum of 5 4 5. Doesn't really matter, does it? It's going to suck because I've got to go all the way around the corner and come back again. So time lapse for you. We'll get this moved and then we can figure out where the AT-AT is going to go so it does not get damaged. Right, that did not take as long as I thought it was going to do, which is fantastic, and I can actually just now reach the back of the wall, so I'm not going to mess around trying to move the rest of the Star Wars underneath, because it just needs to come back up on top anyway. There's a lot still to do though, because like I said, that top shelf needs to be sorted out, so I will be bringing that over. I am going to do this now as well, so I might as well just do it while I'm thinking about it, and I'll show you exactly what's going on over here for future uploads, because it will remind me when I edit this together that this is exactly what the plan is. So yes, that is me elegantly climbing underneath. The treehouse obviously isn't going to stay there. That is going to go with the A-frame cabin and the old fishing store in its own display. It's not going to live underneath there. I've got a funny feeling it's either going to have its own table, like smaller table underneath this table where this cube is, or it's going to go somewhere else. So just keep that in mind, because I've got a little display planned for that. Now the D&D is going to swap with the haunted house. So we've got the nice big haunted house and the Natural History Museum. But what I want to do is just put the D&D castle where that thing is, and then I'm going to put the small Ferris wheel in front of the Dungeons and Dragons, because I am almost 100% sure there is a Ferris wheel at the start of the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon. I still haven't checked, so I could be wrong, but it's going to be my interpretation of it anyway. And then just re-sort out one or two of these modulars just so it's got something a little bit different. So there'll be more space on here. That is actually going to then go over onto this table. So this table obviously will be completely clear. We've got the Ninjago boat, which will go obviously with the Ninjago bits and pieces. The only thing that's miscellaneous at the moment is the Jurassic Park. The Jurassic Park gates does not yet have a home. So I feel like it needs somewhere, because even if it's just in between lands and you just walk through the gates and you just go into another land, because you should be able to get away with that, because obviously we are trying to create a huge theme park, hence why it's all different colours to each zone and yada 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 yada. But we can't be too far off now actually getting the bits and pieces tiled as well. So I'll be ordering a lot of tiles and minifigures and things like that this year. So it's not going to be expensive purchases, but it's going to be very time consuming bits and pieces, because of obviously, you know yourself how long it takes to tile and all that kind of thing. So hopefully you'll enjoy that sort of thing as well. Now when that gets moved and gets put onto that table, there is other sets to go with it. I've got the 97, 98 Explorer sets, which is the Johnny Thunder stuff. And I would like to make a full theme of the Explorer land, because that is a huge thing at the Legoland parks. That'd be my nod to Legoland that way. I can't do a mini land because, well, I could, but I don't have the space. So I thought I'd do that instead. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. So we've also got another little tribute to all of the Legoland parks around the world, which is going to be the Star Wars walkthrough, which I am very, very much looking forward to getting my teeth sunk into. But what I'm not looking forward to is actually getting that thing moved. Now the battery is about to die, so I will swap the battery over, and then we'll start by moving the AT-AT. And just like that, we can carry on. Now I am going to place you there, because I think you'll be able to get a good view of me picking it up, turning it around, and the legs are going to fall off. Well, they're going to fall off now, aren't they? Let's be quite honest about everything. So it's been good so far. His hips come on loose. When I say his hip, the actual panel for his hip, but apart from that, I think we've been all right. Now I think maybe look for a better light, or change it for change the bulbs over maybe for some loft bulbs or something, because I think one or two of these light bulbs are on the way out. It doesn't seem as bright on here. I've noticed that when I've been editing the bits and pieces together. Right, there's absolutely no drama with that whatsoever. The risky bit is this, the second I let go. Because the hips are sturdy, but they've got a habit of, the legs have got a habit of coming in. So you can just do what I'm about to, can you see? Do what I'm about to do now, and just bring his leg. So his feet are, they've crossed over each other, so the hips come in, and then just bring that leg back, bring that one back, and bring that one over, and he's good. Now he's not wobbling, in case you're wondering. The table is wobbly, it's actually twisted or warped, which isn't exactly ideal. So we'll get this right in front of the Disney castle like so. And that should give us enough room then for some bits and pieces. We've got some odds and sods left up on that shelf. So that can go down there. To be honest, these can actually just go at the front here. Because when I paint, I'll be able to reach all of that. I'll be able to stand there, reach that corner, so that's all right. So yeah, I think we're good. Those bits of wood can get put down. Yeah, if I put my hand there, yeah. So we should be good with that, because it's just I've got to slap the white on and literally wait a week minimum, because it's just this back wall takes forever and ever and ever and ever. So wrong time of year, I know, but this week coming is actually supposed to be warmer. We've had -3, -4, yada yada yada. We're in the plus. Hello, we're in the pluses of almost +3, +4. So that's exactly perfect to do, but it's better than a kick in the teeth. I want to take a photo of the angle of that Alpine Lodge. Actually, I don't think I need to be honest. It's a shame, I literally just put these in, got it looking nice, and yeah, just going to take the first base plate off. It might go back in slightly different, but it doesn't matter. I did say when I did this, we'll make sure that this display lasts 11 months. It's been in less than 2 weeks, which is not exactly ideal. But again, if you watch the last upload and the upload of this, you'll see how a light bulb went off, and then yeah, it's kind of snowballed from there, which it always does. But we did it on the back wall with the red Batman, and the Batman looks great on camera. I think it does anyway. So hopefully this will be worth the effort that we do, he says. But at least this isn't exactly moving. It's not exactly moving very far, is it? So it's only a few bits and pieces, and then I have to triple check that everything else is good. Yeah, because the reason why I can't, I'm just looking at that going, can I reach? This sticks out away, but now with my hand here, I can reach that okay. So as long as I can put my hand down, that's all right. Now the table with the Rivendell on is lengthways, so it's only 0.6 of a metre, so I should be able to reach over that. Tell it's cold, I'm dropping absolutely everything. But I just don't know, because the top of that Rivendell I can see being a problem because it's over the orange. I'm gonna have to cross that bridge when it comes, I think. Because worst case scenario, I don't know where it's gonna go. It could go here. I can hear my own brain in a small, slow cog trying to take over. It's just where the plugs are. I don't know if you can see it where you are, but it's just where those plugs are, and I don't know if it's going to be good or not. So I will have to have a leaning test in a second and see if it will reach. If not, where it can go is where my juice is. It'll fit on that table, so that actual set can just go there. Everything else can stay, so I should be able to lean over. So here now, I should be able to stand here. I can reach that wall. I can reach the corner just. That's close. Of course, I've just thrown all of this on the table. Just, you know, as you do, just try and do it quickly. Completely forgetting I actually have to get the train off and the other station off, because the station is the highest thing, clearly. I will keep the track together, because obviously the nightmare I had with that track last time wasn't exactly ideal. So if you are watching this for the first time, this is normally how chaotic every single one of these disaster series are. That's the little Ferris wheel. Where's that going to go? Put that there. I'll take that over to the D&D after. So can I? Oh, I can see it's getting colder. I can start to see my breath again. So that can go there. This is the tricky bits. A tub of paint on the floor comes out. Oh, it's the reserve. Okay. You don't want that to happen, thank you very much. You can only see me taking it off, you can't see me putting it on the table, can you? So, just balancing my head on the roof at the moment. Oh, please, come on. When you think it's going to fall apart, it doesn't. And when you think it's going to be absolutely fine, it completely disintegrates. Right. That is that bit done. So that track will be saved. That can go there. Because I had a nightmare with that last time. Every single one of those glass bits are in the way as well, aren't they? That's annoying. That is annoying. So, I'm not going to lie, these aren't the lightest of things either. So these are actual window panes, in case you're wondering. They stack on top of each other. You can get them in different colours. And just having to find a load of spare clear ones in the shed. And it's kind of worked for this Christmas display. So can make it actually higher, thinking about it. I could step it, I could do different bits and pieces with it. But for now, we can just keep going. Don't worry, I'm just clanging and banging. It's fine, ignore me. I am just trying to get them down. I have just thought of something, because I am an absolute moron. Oh, that is really, really stupid of me. So there I am saying, oh yeah, we can put bits and pieces on the front of this table because I can reach this back wall. Can't reach the top though, can I? I've got to climb up on this. Should be alright if I just stand up on here, I'll be able to reach. But that's gonna get interesting very, very quickly. But at the top, look, it just looks wet. Oh, I hope it's worth it. I just hope it doesn't wreck it, and then I don't know what to do if that is the case. So tape measure, that ready for the white. I've got the paint ready. Can I find a paintbrush? Of course I can't. So I can't actually get the first coat on until I go and get a paintbrush tomorrow because all the shops have closed. Right, we are looking at what the problem might be with Lord of the Rings. I think we should be able to move it cleanly enough. I don't see if it needs to be moved, that is. Now I've got these boxes on the floor, and I think I should be able to squeeze down that gap, paint over the top. Because when I did this originally, I think I stacked all the tables. There was hardly any Lego in here. So trying to do it now with it full. But, say for example, without even trying, I know I can reach that, so that'd be okay. I've got a big box and things in the way, so yeah, we should be okay. This corner is the only thing that's concerning me, because Gringotts is a beast. So I don't particularly want to do anything stupid with that, because I don't think I'm going to be able to reach around it to paint. I'm obviously not going to get any paint on the bricks, I'm not that stupid. So that'll be pulled over. Just got to be careful, because obviously it's on its own track This one is track stand. But apart from the air balloon, which is the only thing that needs to be dropped down, the Winter Village stuff is not going to be a problem because I can easily get behind that, so that's okay. So the Winter Village can stay as it is, which is perfect, and it's only these little bits and pieces to do. And then, yeah, it's going to be a case of getting the paint and seeing what is what. Now, I don't really think there's anything else to do. I did say this was going to be a shorter upload. Some of them are going to be shorter. The next one might be the same length, but I'll get a load done because we'll try and get that blue in the next upload. Now, I could mask it with you now, but I'll do that next time. I don't really think there's much to mask, to be honest. I think we should be okay, because if I am going to mask stuff, then I'm going to have to move quite a lot of the Lego bits and pieces, so I think I'll just do it by hand. Cover all the orange with white and then basically go from there. So I think that is it, and I am done. Is the effort worth it? That's what I need to know. Are we doing the right thing? Are we doing the right colours? Are you just waiting for something to smash? Because it might, but we'll just have to wait and see. But if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But as always, thank you very much for watching. You lot take care, and I'll catch you next one. Ta-da.